Right. So if you've been following the Amazing Digital Circus, you'll know that Glitch Direct 2025 dropped the official release date for episode 8. We're looking at roughly 2 months until it arrives, which means the proper pre-release hype machine should be kicking off in about a month or so. But here's the thing. We've already got a fair bit to work with. Between official teasers and bits that have leaked out, there's enough material to piece together what might be coming. So let's have a proper look at what episode 8 could have in store. First up, we've got some confirmed dialogue snippets. There's this odd little phrase, zip-a-dab app or something along those lines. Sounds completely nonsensical at first, doesn't it? But I reckon there's a method to the madness here. It feels like a deliberately silly mashup of zip it and shut up, typical of Caine's brand of patronizing humor. If you go back through the available episodes, you'll notice Caine has this habit of dismissing the cast with similar condescending remarks. Given how episode 7 wrapped up, with everyone properly having a go at Caine about the mind games, the name manipulation, all of it, it makes sense he'd fire back with something like this. The tension's reached breaking point, hasn't it? Every character's got reason to be furious with him now. There's even support for this in the recent merch video, where Caine uses similar dismissive language repeatedly. As for who he's actually talking to when he says it, that's harder to pin down. Though, if I had to guess, Zubul seems the most likely candidate. They've always had the most contentious relationship with Caine. Then there's another confirmed line, "It's you." Now, based on previous patterns, the dialogue snippets Gooseworks reveals tend to be fairly throwaway moments, part of a joke rather than plot critical. Think back to lines like, "You're only making the joke take longer," or "You made a whole guy for that." They're amusing, but not exactly pivotal. That said, I do wonder if Zip-a-Dab app might be different. It's presented more cryptically, which could mean there's something more substantial hiding in there. We'll have to wait and see, but it's worth keeping an eye on. Now let's talk runtime. Before episode 6 dropped, Goose made an interesting point on social media. People were concerned that 4 episodes wouldn't be enough to wrap everything up properly. Her response? Those 4 episodes add up to about 2.5 hours. Basically the length of a Pirates of the Caribbean film. Fair point, really. So if we're working with 150 minutes total for episodes 6 through 9, and episodes 6 and 7 have already used up roughly 56 minutes, that leaves 94 minutes for the final 2 episodes. Now, common sense suggests the series finale will be substantial. I'd estimate episode 9 could run anywhere from 50 to 55 minutes. Even taking the longer estimate, that still leaves episode 8 with a minimum runtime of about 40 minutes, which, honestly, sounds brilliant. Quick tangent here. There's a bit of a myth floating around regarding Jax. Someone asked Goose on Tumblr what the worst thing Jax has done is, and the response was vague. You'll get to see that with your very eyes. This sparked loads of speculation that Jax would do something absolutely terrible in episode 8, but I think people are reading too much into it. The answer almost certainly refers to the red button incident, the moment that essentially killed any hope of escaping the digital circus. That's already happened. I don't think we should expect some massive new betrayal from Jax in episode 8. Right, so Goose has this habit of describing each episode with a single word. Episode 7 was described as huh. Confusion, shattered expectations, that sort of thing. Episode 8 gets oh, which to me suggests acceptance. How realization, a shift in perspective. Since episodes 7 and 8 are essentially 2 halves of the same story, these descriptions work better when considered together. The characters went from confused and blindsided to understanding and accepting their reality. That emotional progression will be crucial for what comes next. With each episode, Caine's role has evolved significantly. Early on, he was just the administrator sending everyone on adventures. Now we understand he's absolutely central to the entire story. Between the phrase reveals, the reaction footage, and the narrative trajectory, it's clear Caine will be, if not the main character, then certainly one of the most important figures in episode 8. Episode 7 ended on quite the moment, didn't it? The cast realizing they'd been manipulated again, that the good ending was just another one of Caine's adventures. The anger, the exhaustion, it was palpable. Episode 8 will clearly pick up directly from there. But here's what's interesting. Based on that O description, the characters won't stay in that defeated state for long. For the first time, we're likely to see everyone properly united around a common goal, escaping the digital circus for real this time. And Jax? I think his role might shift considerably. We've seen him vulnerable, panicking, isolated, but he's also proven himself resilient. I wouldn't be surprised if he steps into something of a leadership role, channeling that resilience into action rather than defense mechanisms. Now, this is where things get particularly interesting. There's an official image showing Kinger and Ragatha, and it's telling. Ragatha looks far more anxious and uncertain than we're used to seeing her. Kinger appears genuinely surprised, not his usual scattered reaction to familiar faces, but proper surprise. This strongly suggests we're finally getting those long-awaited flashbacks. Not just for Jax and his relationship with Kaufmo, but for multiple characters. We'll likely see who they were before the digital circus, what they've lost, why certain relationships matter so much. Speaking of Ribbit, his voice actor, Sky Redden, has shared footage from recording sessions that indicate Kaufmo will have substantial screen time in episode 8. Given Jax's apparent connection to him, these flashbacks could be absolutely crucial for understanding Jax's character properly. One more interesting bit. Episode 8 releases in roughly 3 months, but production typically takes 5 to 6 months per episode. This suggests they're currently in full production on episode 8, which means episode 9 might have already started. If that timeline holds, we could potentially see the series finale sometime around June or July 2026. So putting it all together, episode 8 will likely be the most emotionally rich episode yet. We're talking proper character development through flashbacks, everyone finally unified in purpose, and Caine at the center of it all, possibly facing real consequences for the first time. The runtime should give them plenty of space to explore all this properly. And if the O description is anything to go by, this is where acceptance transforms into action. The characters understand their situation now. The question is what they'll do about it. Right, that's what we've got so far. If you've spotted anything I've missed, or you've got your own theories about where this is heading, drop them in the comments. I'd genuinely love to hear what you're thinking. And obviously, I'll see you when episode 8 actually drops. Should be quite something.